Hey, thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new here, welcome. The purpose of today's video is sharing with you the differences between teaching middle school versus high school. It can be very helpful, especially if it's your first time entering a high school or middle school. Their behavior is different, the way they engage with you is completely different. So I hope this video helps you if it's your first time or if you just need a little bit of assistance when it comes to dealing with this age group. I want to share with you the classroom environment. You'll see the complete difference when it comes to middle school versus high school. Middle school, they have so much energy from the beginning of the day till dismissal. Their energy level is at 100 all the time. They'll run to your class. They're constantly getting up and down to grab absolutely nothing, whether it's sharpening their pencils, getting a tissue. They always want to go to the bathroom, the library, another teacher's classroom. They're just always up and down all the time. They never want to sit still. They always want to work in groups. They always want to play. So it's very crucial to find out what strategies you can use to keep the class under control. And we'll get to that soon. When it comes to high school, they're very relaxed. They walk in tired, sluggish, especially if it's first period. They're always on their phone, their computer. They're always heads down, taking a nap, something, which doesn't bother me. They're very chill in high school. You normally will never get a class that's up and down, running around. Freshmen in the beginning will possibly be like that for a few months, but as they get older, their mood starts to change and their level goes down when it comes to energy, and they have less engagement than the middle school students do. Once you see your environment, you'll know the way students will behave. You might have those one or two students that act out more than others, but when middle school, they are nonstop touching each other. They always want to hit. They always want to slap box. They always want to do something that's not focused on their work. So it's really hard to keep the class under control. They're always doing something, getting each other in trouble. There's been times where I've had people throw ice at each other from the nerves. It's just a lot going on in middle school. And if you're not the kind of person that can handle all that chaotic mess, middle school might not be for you, because it's hard for them to listen. And if you hear lately, there's been a lot of lack of respect that teachers complain about. So if this is not for you, I just want to let you know that ahead of time before entering a middle school. High school is different. You might have those one or two students that act out, but for the most part, they're very chill. They're doing their work. Even if they're not doing their work, they're always relaxing on their phone. Some high schools are allowed to have cell phones. They're on their computer doing work or doing work for another class. So they're very chill, even when it comes to study hall. Study hall, a lot of them are just very focused on their work. There was a time where I was a Spanish teacher and the teacher just said, use it as a study hall, and that's what I did. And this girl was so happy. She was like, oh my God, I have this paper to finish. She was so excited. She sat there the whole period just typing away. So they're very focused, especially the seniors. They're very focused on what they need to accomplish. They don't need a teacher constantly on them, like, what are you doing? In middle school, you're always looking over their shoulder because instead of doing their work, they're playing games or they're just on YouTube. Where high school, they're very independent and they know what needs to be done. So they don't need someone always on top of them. So again, if middle school is not for you, high school is very chill. You can have a day where you're just sitting there watching Netflix all day because they got it. They have it under control. So high school is definitely at that maturity level that middle school is not. I talked about classroom management. That's something you need to figure out how you're going to handle that with middle school in the morning. Because if you don't get it straight first period, you're going to have a very rough time all day. There are some team leaders, I should say, that come in before homeroom and kind of tell you what it is. They tell you first and second period are great. Your last period after lunch might be horrible. They let you know ahead of time. They will say, call me if you need me. They might say, let them know Mrs. Such and Such is writing everyone up if they act out. So just try to get that accomplished in the beginning so it will help you with the rest of your day when it comes to classroom management. Some students might say they might be scared of the principal. So if I see a principal walking past, I'm like, oh, I saw Dr. So-and-so walk by. All I have to do is call her name and she'll come right in. So just give them some kind of threat, I would say, just to help your day go better. But again, try to keep that going in the morning or before the period even starts so they know what it is when they come in and they know you're not a pushover. High school, again, they're really not that bad. They're just more mature when it comes to that. They know what they have to do. You might have those students that do act a fool, and again, the teachers will leave you a note if it's that problem. You might have a principal or an administrator come through and they'll say, this person, first and last name, might give you an issue. Don't even worry about it, just call this extension. So a lot of teachers in high school help you out a lot in the beginning of the day because they know how it's going to be. But I'm going to say about 95% of substituting high school is extremely easy, very chill. You'll have a prep period, you might have 2 prep periods, you have a lunch, and the rest of the time you're just supervising them because they know what to do. You might have to pass out papers, but majority of their work is on the Chromebooks or whatever laptop the school provides. But most of the time, in my experience in high school, the most I did was take attendance and walk from one end of the building to another just because they needed the coverage. But as far as actual work or actually helping them, as far as their academic goes, I barely didn't do much. I also want to be clear, I don't want you to think you never have to do anything with high school, because there will be times they'll ask you questions, they'll need help with something, but it's more on a maturity level. Sometimes they're writing a paper for a future college. A lot of the things are about their future when it comes to high school, or a lot of their papers they're writing, or even math they might need help with. But they're just very nice with asking. They're not trying to do the work. Sometimes middle school, they try to get out of the work, where high school, they really want to get it completed. So my interactions with students depends on the student. So when it comes to middle school, a lot of the times, you got to stand out by the door. You're saying good morning, good morning. Some say good morning back, some don't. Some people are kind of just like looking around like, oh, we got a sub. Oh, we got a sub. Some of them are super excited, because they feel like they're not going to do anything when they have a sub. So definitely be stern in what needs to be done in the beginning of the period. Sometimes where they automatically come in the room and they're like, can I go to the library? Or can I go here? Can I go here? Can I go there? So you have to be mindful when you're giving out passes because they're constantly going to take advantage. So my thing is, if they come up to me right away and don't say anything but can I go here, I'm asking them, what is your name? And I check my roster, see what their name is, and I'm like, please have a seat. Let me take attendance, let me do whatever else I need to do for the day before I start sending people out. Because one thing I'm guilty of, when that happens, when you have constant people in your ear, can I go here, can I go there, you're just like signing passes because you just want to get them out of your ear so you could finish what you're doing. But you need to remember, when you do that, you'll have half the class gone and not even realize it until things start calming down. So don't be a victim of that. Not let them make you confused. Make sure you have everything under control and calm, and then start signing passes so you can count how many people's out, how many people came back. But if they do it all at one time, they know what they're doing. They know they're going to confuse you, and you realize you have 4 girls out in the bathroom, you have 2 girls up to the library, you have somebody that went to the nurse for no apparent reason. So just be careful when it comes to that. High school interaction, completely different. They might ask to go to the bathroom, they might ask to go to another class. Whatever they ask you to go, for the most part, they go. Sometimes you have people that roam the hall, but they're not running down the hall. They're not jumping up and down. So they're completely different from middle school. I will say with high school, sometimes I haven't even got anyone to say anything to me at all. Like, it's completely quiet from the time they walk in the room to the time they leave. I have a few people that say, have a great day, miss, have a great day, but they literally didn't say 2 words to me the entire period. Like high school, they're just more calm. They just want to come in and get it over with and get out. Where middle school, they just want the whole 45 minutes to be chaos. So that's the difference when I say when it comes to my interaction with middle school students versus high school. So when it comes to the curriculum and learning, with middle school, it all depends on the teacher and the lesson plans they leave. Some teachers in middle school, they really give you a lesson plan to teach them. And if you watch my previous videos, that's why I say to come in early. Because sometimes they give you something to actually teach them with no answer key, and it's crazy. It's good when I have like reading and reading comprehension or something they can do interacting with each other. And I'll tell them, like, listen, I didn't get an answer key. We're learning this together. If you guys want to read out loud, if you guys want to work in groups, ask me a question. But when they come up to me like, oh, can I have the answer? Or what's this, what's that, I strictly tell them, listen, I am learning with you. Let's read together, let's answer these questions together, and then we can hand them in. So sometimes you might have stuff like that when it comes to learning and lesson plans and curriculum where you actually have to get up and teach them. With math, science, social studies, sometimes they give you work to actually teach them. They want you to teach their class. So a lot of that can be difficult. When it comes to high school, again, completely different. They will just leave you worksheets, or they say everything's online and you're just passing them out. You don't have to help them with a thing. A lot of the teachers even say they should already know this. So they have no intention of them asking the substitute a question. So that's really the difference. They want high school to be more mature. They want them to grow up. Where middle school, they know they're still growing up to do. Last thing I'm going to talk about is dismissal and switching classes. Middle school, you have to walk with them in the line. You have to get them from point A to point B. You have to make sure everyone is where they're supposed to be. No one's skipping classes. And it's a bigger responsibility, even as a substitute, to make sure all the kids are accounted for and they went to their specials, they went to lunch, because a lot of them like to skip classes. So you're more on top of middle school students because they're all supposed to be in groups where they're supposed to be. And it's more of one hallway they're switching classes, maybe upstairs and a downstairs, but it's not a whole high school building. In high school, everyone goes to a different class all the time. You might have 30 students in your classroom and they're going 20 different ways. So you don't have to account for all of them. High school students are just mainly on their own because they're getting them ready for college, because they'll be going off on their own, going to classes on their own, being big straight lines. So you have less responsibility when it comes to teaching high school. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you like this video, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. If you have any additional questions, don't hesitate to leave me a comment below.